Yeah, that's going to be helpful.
Yeah.
Because.
Okay.
Oh, we live?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Right now. Check 1, 2. See the green thing down there?
Oh, nice. Just thinking about the frame.
Yeah. Your water bottle, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's suit jacket. Okay, guys. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to the first episode of
Creative Conversations.
Mm-hmm. So why are we doing this?
That's you. You're the one.
The reason why I wanted to do this is because I've been consuming so much content. One, I work in the marketing industry, so I'm always consuming content. And I recently interviewed John Henry and looking at a lot of his stuff. He has one friend named Brandon. And out of all of his 70 plus videos that he has on his YouTube channel, my favorite videos were the ones where he was talking with his friend and they were just talking about random things that were interesting to them. I learned more in those videos than anything else, than any talk he did, than any other interview. It was just him and his friend talking like that. I'm like, because it was such a rich conversation. And then I was like, who could I do that with? Like, how? And I was like, Ericka! Ericka's the only other person that I could have, like, where you just get each other, where you can just talk and it doesn't have to be super planned and you can just talk about what's on your mind, what you're learning, blah, blah, blah. So this is an extension. We thought, like, well, should we do it on my Millennials in Ministry YouTube? Should we start one for you, blah, blah, blah. And then we have Lashley Ladies, and technically anything we do without mom is Creative Conversations, because we started a couple events. So we're like, let's just make it Creative Conversations, because that's kind of what it is anyway.
Right.
So welcome to our first episode.
Yay.
And
a little bit about us. I feel like we should do
that. Yeah, go ahead. You start with that.
So I'm the oldest sister. I'm 31, Ericka Vaughn Byrne. So I got married. It'll be 3 years in December. My Lord.
That's insane.
Oh my gosh. So 2.5 almost years. My passions are dancing, writing, choreographing, directing, developing. I'm working on a project right now that we can maybe talk about a little bit and how Erin's been helping me with that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I really love all things creative. I think in all aspects of my life, I'm always searching on how I can make things more beautiful or expose the truth behind things. I'm really interested in authenticity in every sense of the word, and just how we can all just stay true to our own stories. I'm sort of over the cookie cutter, blah, 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 blah. I think that's how we grew up in middle America.
I was gonna say, like, what words are you gonna choose?
I thought about them. I did, because I've been told that I can be a little bit like, yes, I'm all about the Black power.
Yes.
And I think that that's something that I've just discovered, because again, how we grew up, not because of our parents, but I think being the only Black people in a lot of situations all the time, you
kind of lose. You don't know what it's like to be Black.
Yeah, you lose
because you're in a white world.
Yes,
and you don't understand. And it's not even like, it's not a bad thing.
No, not necessarily.
It's just that you lose the value and beauty of the culture that you actually are. And it's in a way like you're rediscovering yourself.
Exactly, because the perspective from which you live is one of whiteness. And how do I relate to this? How do I fit in here? How do I help people understand me? So you're always thinking about whiteness and white culture and all of that, instead of actually just thinking about your own culture. And so I feel like there's been an intentional shift for me. I think now, just because being older, you have more ownership, early 20s, you're just like, what is life? What is my role here? And when you're a child, you're a child. So I think now I'm just afforded the opportunity, because of my age specifically, to stand up a little bit stronger and really.
Yeah. And the uniqueness of the culture today.
Yeah.
In a very interesting way, it's backwards.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah.
So is my shirt.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah. Your shirt says no lines, no walls, no labels, no stones, no religion, just love. That's Ericka.
That's a whole nother tangent.
Yeah. And the cup says best sister ever.
I know. Erin didn't give this to me. This is actually mom's cup from her sister, but we're at their house, so I stole it.
Yeah. But that's what I was gonna say. There is no better time to be young, to be Black, and to be female We're in our prime right now. Like, I'm serious.
Seriously.
I am serious. I am serious. The more I learn,
But truly.
Hello. The more I learn about where the world is, where the culture is, like
where it's heading.
Yes. And all of consumers, and just even in business, like minorities represent, I think it was 70% of where millennials today are ethnic and minority millennials.
Wow.
We're business owners, we're consumers. We are
the
it.
future. Yeah.
We are it.
Yeah, and I think too, because America is changing in that with the age of social media and the how much you can know about how many things at once, you are exposed to different cultures. And so I think it's perpetuating and it's leading people to this place of being aware of people of color and their stories in a more real way, when back in the day, all you got was what you saw that was very curated, right? We lived a very curated life because the powers that be curated the entertainment, curated the media, curated what you read, curated. They were in charge about what was in and what was out. And now anybody with a phone, baby.
Yeah. With a phone.
And an internet connection. You know what I'm saying? Anything. And so I think now is a really cool and unique opportunity to be a person of color. Times are still hard, still a lot of racial tensions, especially in America. But I think there's some excitement because our voice is so powerful, and there's so much value, especially for people that want to are about the future. They are seeing that you need to have a Black female, a person of color, on your team. If you're not working with a person of color right now, sweetie, what are you doing?
You're missing out.
You're missing out.
You're so missing out.
You're really missing out
on
life.
There was something I was going to say just about being Black and young, and just for me, I think that it's just really exciting because I'm like, wow, like I can actually do this. Like I really feel that. And I feel right now that there is such a passion and excitement growing for me as far as being an owner of things. Truthfully, my mindset is changing to where, I want to work for a great company, to I want to own the great company. I want to decide what I'm going to do.
Come on now.
As much as I'm thankful for great opportunities, and I've had several, and I work with great people, even now, like I'm learning so much, super thankful. But you know how when you can work somewhere and in your mind, this is it. It's like you cap yourself on what you're capable of. But then I had this thought the other day. It's like, I work for a great company now, but why couldn't I own the great company? Why couldn't I be the owner of the great company 5-10 years from now? You know what I'm saying? Like it's my mindset is shifting, and more that's exciting.
Well, and I think Ericka Vaughn Byrne is always going to take it back. Okay, so when America was founded and when slavery was finally abolished, at that point, Black people weren't even able to own land. So as a Caucasian person, a white person in America, you already had a one up, because land ownership means that you can make more money. When you own something, you own whatever's on it, you own everything. There's more, your ability to make money is times however many hundreds of times. And because of that, Black people were not able to own things. Their lands were taken away. There was still ceilings put above our heads and not discrepancies, but we were boxed in physically and metaphorically, we were boxed in. And so that is why you notice there's a lot. I think the ratio of white Americans that have old school money and Black Americans that have old school money is quite different because of that. So I think something to what you're saying is that we are coming to a generation where, as a Black person, I'm starting to realize that I have the power to own things, and I can build something for my great grandchildren.
My brain up until this year has not thought longevity like that.
Like that, not like that.
I have never thought about owning a piece of property to then build a retail store on, to then own and run and hire people on it.
For my great grandchildren.
Has never thought about it.
Where your name is on the building for years to come.
That you would own a piece of, like, that doesn't even, I don't even think, but now I am.
Yeah. We're in a season, we're in a new world. It's a new world, it's a new day. And I think that's super exciting.
Yeah.
To know that you can build wealth that goes down. And it's not just a survival thing. Because I think a lot of people of color's lives in America has just been a survival thing. Now, that's not the golden rule. There are definitely people that have thrived and survived and have some of that money. But I think overall, in an overarching way, it's been more of a survival. And so that's exciting that we're coming into an age where we got to survive, we got to thrive.
And that leads me into like a little bit about me and what I do. Like, I'm assuming that people who are watching this already know us, but I shouldn't assume that. Because this is the first episode of this Creative Conversations thing. But a little bit about me. I'm into a lot of things. I love production. I love the mindset of production. I like creativity. A bit self-taught in video editing, but picked it up from some friends. I like to produce more than create. I like to produce the creation of something. I also really love ministry in the local church stuff. I used to work in a local church for maybe 16 plus years of my life. I worked in 2 different churches.
She's not 12.
I'm not 12. I'm 29. Gonna be 30 in August. I'm excited about that. Even though I look young, like 16 years.
I know, they're like, sweetie, how have you been on the
I know. But since I don't work in the local church anymore, I found this way, because of where culture is, to start my own podcast called Millennials in Ministry. And it literally just started with me doing live interviews on Instagram, stripped the audio, made it a podcast, stripped the video, put it up on YouTube. And it's turned into something which is fun. And it's exciting for me because it's like my one connection to, I can make it whatever I want it to be, to creativity, to art, to whatever. And it's Millennials in Ministry. And even though I'm not in ministry, I'm finding that you don't have to be in church for ministry. Like, if you follow God and you're a disciple of Christ, anything, the work of your hands is your ministry.
Right.
And so that's what I'm trying to help change the mindset of just the culture, I think. And
go
instead
ahead.
of thinking like ministry equals church, it's ministry equals the work of your hands. It's you know?
And I think that is something that is taught a lot in word, but I don't know that indeed it is messaged in church very well.
Yeah.
At least for when I was growing up.
Yeah, because it's like, if you say, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm in full-time ministry. Well, everybody's in full-time ministry.
Right. But that means that
you work at a church. I'm a pastor, or I'm a lay minister, or I'm a worship leader, or whatever.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm not in ministry anymore. I actually work remotely for a company in New York called the Smithy Group, and I'm a content manager, and I'm really enjoying. I'm learning so much about marketing. It's a great team, honestly, probably the best company I've ever worked for. And I've worked for a lot of really great people, but truthfully, I've seen a lot of really cool things and had a lot of really great experiences with the company. So I'm really happy to be a part of that team. So,
well, since we're name dropping,
might as well. Sure.
So I work as a preschool teacher, which I love kids. And so that's sort of like mine during the week. And then I also work part-time for an organization called New Box, which is a not-for-profit organization in the Valley. It's all about supporting and developing artists, local artists, about the local artists, and not necessarily how you're connecting and bringing people in from other places, but how you're supporting people that are right next to your neighbors and then supporting them. So I'm the artist support and development director, which I think is right up my alley. Alongside what Erin was saying, I love developing things, which I think is a sister or a close cousin of producing things.
Yes.
You know, and directing things. So I'm really excited about supporting local artists and how I can take them through their process of their art and enrich so they can go down, but also they can move forward. Because I think a lot of times artists will be like head underground, burrowing down, but they're not moving forward and they're not creating something that people will actually see or view, or that would be an impact. So one thing I wanted to say that you make me think of is, so we were having a conversation maybe last week about how you said Millennials in Ministry with Erin Lashley is something that is great and good, but it's not necessarily something you could hand off to someone else because it's so tied to who you are.
It's tied to my personal brand, me, my face.
Exactly. And I think there's something powerful about creating things that you can hand off to your children's children.
Yes.
Like we were talking at the beginning,
which is why
that's
I want
which is a different mentality. But I even think something like this, like creative conversations, as me and you, but like our kids could do creative conversations and whatever that means. If that's a live event, 'cause we've done some of those. If that's a festival, if that's this conversation, it's all about having those creative conversations that spark things, that move things forward, that develop, that go deep and down. So I think that's exciting. Just realizing like, hey, this is something that we wanted to do to continue on.
And in these things, like think about where we are and all that we're learning. Think about 10 years from now, all that we're going to be accomplishing. And they were like, oh yeah, remember back in 2019 when we said that on Creative Conversations that we wanted to own a piece of property? Oh yeah, now I actually own the apartment complex right across the street, and that's amazing.
That's amazing. And one thing that I like, Erin really watches Gary Vee a lot, and so does my husband, Stefan. Shout out to my husband. Hey babe.
What up, Steph?
One thing that he said that I was scrolling through the Insta and saw is he was saying a lot of people are so focused on creating, they don't really do anything. He said, stop trying to create, just document.
Yeah.
Just document. So that's what this is for me. It's like, it's just documenting.
Yeah. We don't have a plan.
We don't have a plan.
I don't have an idea of things I'm excited about right now, but just documenting where you are and what you're learning. And
because then you'll have those moments of 5-10 years down where you're like, oh, I had that property. You documented this whole journey of like, hey, remember we had that first conversation, we didn't have anything, and now I own and I'm making money in.
Because listen, like I really want to get to a point to where I don't need another human being to write me a check.
Right. Can we get to that point?
I do not need to live. In order for me to live, I do not need your hand to write me a check.
My wealth is not coming from your hand.
I don't need it.
There's so much pressure when that happens.
Yeah.
When your financial stability is in someone else's hands, you don't ever really truly feel stable. You don't, because anything could happen. Yeah. Anything. And also too, I mean, again, we've had a lot of really great bosses, worked a lot of really great people. We've also had some terrible.
Hello?
Terrible. One more time. Terrible. Bosses and worked in some terrible situations. Yeah. And I think it just shows us how we don't want to lead.
Yes. And can I say something really quick? I don't mean to interrupt you, but I kind of do.
Yeah, that's fine.
There is I feel like in order to be a great boss, you have to have really bad bosses. Because it makes it very clear in your head what not to do. Because these little nuances of your ego sprinkling up turn into stuff.
Ego is a huge thing.
Hello?
Now. Can we talk about bosses with egos? Like, can you drop it for a minute?
Over
Is it about you?
I'm so over it. It literally drives me insane.
Yeah. I'm also over people that are elevated and that are given managerial positions when they're not good with people. Oh, just because they can do the work really well. I'm like, so that doesn't mean that you're going to be a good boss. Yeah. Because just to be a good boss, you have to be a good teacher. You have to be empathetic. You have to understand the relationships and the complexities of human dynamics and interactions. And there have been so many people that I've come across with that are not good managers. They're just not. Yeah. That's not your gift. That's not your ministry, sweetie.
No. I don't understand how you can be a manager and have no concept of how I'm feeling at this moment.
Exactly.
You have no clue.
Exactly.
But the best managers I've ever had are genuinely concerned about my soul.
Exactly.
How I'm feeling.
And your life outside the office.
Outside the office. That is such a simple thing.
Yeah. What's that book that we read by Howard Brown? Is he running for president? I think that he is.
Really?
He put out a bid I think either he's thinking about it and put some feelers out, or he actually made it a thing.
I don't know what book you're talking about.
Starbucks.
Oh, really?
He's running for president. Yes. Or he said, "Wow, what's his name?"
I don't remember.
Howard something. What was the name of the book? it's not about the coffee. One of the best
yes.
books I've ever read about leadership and being a person in charge of other people, because it's not about the work. It's about the people outside the work. Sweetie, if people feel like a number, if they don't feel like you really care, can we talk about, I'm so over American society and the stigma of taking mental health days.
Yeah.
Because you're telling me that I have to be almost dead to take a day off, and then I'm gone for 2 weeks, and then that's bad for you. When if I would have just taken a day of mental health, and if I wouldn't be able to call in and not have to lie, because who wants to call in and lie all the time? I don't want to call. I'm sick. I just want to call and say, sweetie, I need a mental health day.
I just need
a day.
I need to enjoy the weather. I'm in the office
all day. I need a day.
Yeah.
I'm taking a day. I'll be back tomorrow 1,000% better and doing 100% better work, and you're going to be happy and I'm going to be happy.
Yeah.
And can that be okay?
Yeah. It really does, because it's preventative. It's like preventative things.
It's preventative medicine. And I don't
really
think that we're thinking about that enough.
Yeah. We're not thinking proactively, we're thinking reactively.
Yes.
I think as companies and managers of people, specifically managers of people, it's like, let me not just think about this workload, but let me think about how can I keep you happy and healthy over a really long period of time. I need to care about you. Maybe we should have a little bit of fun. Maybe we should laugh. That's important. Maybe we should do something together outside the office if we have that type of relationship.
Or maybe I should just let you go do whatever else you want, because work can just be work, and then you can have fun. But if we have work and then we have mandatory outings every night of the week,
it doesn't work.
I don't want to hang out with you.
No.
I want to go hang out with my people.
Yeah.
Come and do the work. I want to respect you. It's not necessarily I want to be your friend. And sometimes you do. But I think there's a lot of pressure on work people being friends. And that's nice when that happens.
Yeah.
But what I think is the most important, if you respect the people you work with, if there's a level of respect, if there's a level of commitment to the work, to making it work, and then you can go and do what you need to do to relax. But I think when you're trying to find everything in your work people, like, sweetie, I already have some friends.
Yeah.
Sweetie, I already have a husband. Okay. I'm not looking for all of that at my work.
Right.
That's too much pressure for a workplace.
Right.
Too much.
I agree.
It's too much.
And this is one thing that my company currently lives by. They always say this. They say this to every client. They say this to every employee. Is like, listen, we're friends first. We're friends first. Before you're an employee here, you're a friend, which to me communicates we care about you as a person more than we care about what you can do for us as a company, which makes me really like you a lot. You know what I mean? Because it's not, yes, this is business and we want to make money. And yes, we're going to be doing that. And yes, we need you to work. But that is something that I want to carry over into anything that I own or build, or even teams that I put together, is that, and like, but it's
a balance.
It's a balance.
You're not forcing friendship.
Correct. And that's the key point. That's the key point that you said. But it's like, yes, we're friends first, but it's not a forced friendship.
Yes,
it's a forced friendship. I'm a friend of yours because I care about you, but you don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Right. You don't have to spend every Saturday night with us because like, we're friends first. Right. You know, so I think there's a balance with that. And there's also, I mean, I'm going on a tangent, but I always like to know what are people's definitions of words, right? Because what do they mean by friends first? Do they mean that do they mean exactly what you gathered, that you care about me more than you care about the company? So like, that's what it is. So yeah, you know, because then in another place, it's like, we're friends first. We have to hang out every weekend. And you know what I'm saying? We're friends first. Back up.
Here's the beauty of culture, because whatever you carry as a leader is the culture that you're birthing into whatever group organization that you're managing. Sweet. And here's the thing. That's the beauty of it, though. Nobody ever communicated in that type of situation that's what friends meant. But because that was the experience that was had, that was the culture that they were creating. Nobody ever explained to me, oh, we're friends first, when I got hired for that for the company I work for. But but their actions are giving me the words to explain it. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Exactly, which I think is a good thing. So there's, you know, an unbalanced weight is an abomination, or what is that scripture? Is that it?
An unjust
something in Proverbs.
Something weight is an abomination to the Lord.
Basically, too far right is just as bad as too far left.
Yeah.
You need to have some middle, and there's going to be flux.
Yeah, I'm just like taking in so much. And even watching videos and stuff, like I was just watching this video and I sent you it. I can't even remember her name. Annabelle something. I don't know. I jacked it up. I just made up something.
Sorry.
But sorry guys. Sorry. But
we'll put it in the below.
Yeah, description. But it's really cool because I'm just discovering all these young Black entrepreneurs such as her. She comes from a family. I think she has like 3 or 4 brothers and sisters. And they are like, they see themselves as a wolf pack. And they have literally built this family business. But one thing she said, nobody gets left behind. So when she was able to buy a Maserati, she did not buy a Maserati until her sister was able to buy the Lexus she wanted.
Well, hey now.
And her and her husband didn't move into that $1 million house, whatever house they have, until their siblings were able to do it as well, because we're not doing, and they all get paid the same amount of salary. The father, the one sister who runs everything, the other sister who runs operations, the other whatever. I thought that was very interesting because there is so much more power in sharing than there is in you. I'm trying to figure out my own stuff. And that is, and she even said it because they're a Black family. So I really related to them. And I was paying attention in a way that I wouldn't have if they were a different ethnic family. You know,
when you see yourself,
it resonates. And you really have to, it's powerful. Stop trying to pretend like when you see somebody else is just as impactful. It's not. It's not. Like, it's impactful, but it's not as impactful as when I see myself. It's just not.
Was side tangent. Well, go finish your thought. I don't want you to forget.
Okay, so the thought was, she said, that works in every other culture, but the African American culture is like, I'm gonna get mine. I'm gonna do mine by myself. I don't need you, bro. But like Indian culture,
they share.
And there is no other option.
Right.
It's not even like they have the option. It's like, no. There's 10 of us living in a 1-bedroom, and guess what? We own all of our stuff,
right?
Because that's just how it works.
Now, still fake richness or fake wealth.
No, it's like, and they're paying cash for so and so's tuition, cash for this car, cash for this house, because there's 10 incomes paying off this house.
Exactly, but it's also short-term pain for long-term benefits.
Yeah,
you have to be willing to bite the bullet at the beginning.
And I really like that, and it's. Yeah.
No, taking vacations.
Yeah.
Or like stretching yourself so thin and then taking. Did you know people actually do this? I was listening to something. My Lord, we have to be better about knowing the things we're listening to.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
So it's like this thing.
Next time, guys. Next time.
I was listening to something and they were saying people. Oh, Gary Vee. They were saying people actually rent planes for a day to go and take a picture in front of it so they can let people know they have a plane
on Instagram.
They have a plane on Instagram
because they're influencers. So they rent yachts, rent planes, rent things.
Sweet.
Oh yeah, for pictures.
Is it that serious?
Telling you, ego and insecurity
are
running people's lives. Running them.
Well, because people don't want to do the dirty work of rooting those things out and of looking at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah,
which is a very spiritual thing to do.
Yeah.
You have to really sit down. It's messy and muddy to look at yourself, look at your ego, look at your insecurity, and face them head on.
And to take the time to work at unrooting the things that have rooted those traits in your life.
Yeah, and it's painful. Erin just did a whole thing about your millennials administration, this lady. Give the short version. And then you can send them to your IG page. And I'll let them know what I said about it.
But basically, I was doing a live interview with John Henry, he's a big name, you know, in the East Coast, young Black entrepreneur. He's actually Dominican, but he looks like he's Black. So
we said the short version.
Sorry. Thank you. I always go back. I always do this. But anyways, this lady was on my live Instagram, and she was like giving me crap on the live feed in her comments.
About the way I was interviewing.
She didn't like the way I was asking questions. So she was like, John, I like you, but this Erin girl is annoying me. She keeps asking the same question 2 different ways or whatever. And then the second time she commented was like, I'm just going to get off when Erin's done because I can't take it. That was the short version.
And then Erin told me that story. And I proceeded to say, you got the wrong one, bitch. Hey, you got the wrong one. You got the wrong one, bitch. Oh, you got the wrong one.
Amanda, Seals.
Get off of my page.
Yeah.
Anyway, Erin was very eloquent in the way that she responded to her.
Yeah.
But you can look at her IGTV to hear it. Well, I wanted to make the point is that you dug deep to figure out why you were feeling and how you were feeling. Yeah. We gave a shout out to Amanda Seals. I want you to know that little ditty was from Amanda Seals.
Yeah.
Check her out. Black Power. Love you, Amanda. Coming to see you in Tempe.
May.
24th. So excited. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
Tangent. But
digging up, rooting.
What's funny? this is something that's not in the video. So the lady wound up DMing me back.
Oh, she did
Yeah,
respond back.
yes. You haven't heard this part. She responded back. She didn't apologize. I was kind of expecting that or hoping for that. Like, I appreciate you, but I don't want like a deep relationship with you.
Right.
But
what are your credentials to give me? Anyway, I'm sorry.
Okay.
This is Ericka. This is Erin.
Yeah.
This is who I am.
So basically, she responded and said, "I appreciate the way you responded, and here's some." She was giving me further tips on.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Helpful?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Then she saw the video I did explaining everything, and she put on the comment on the IGTV episode, "You did such a great job DMing you right now." And she sends me 2 voicemails. You have to listen to them now. I forgot you haven't heard this part. 2 voicemails, again, not apologizing, but giving me further advice. And she was just happy that I wasn't offended because I could have called her out really bad on that live, but I didn't on the IGTV episode.
Erin's classy. I'm working on that.
Yeah. And I'm trying to I'm trying to take every opportunity to dig
grow.
deep and
to
to grow.
Yeah.
Because you could take the approach of, you don't know what you're talking about. You only have 33 followers on Instagram. I don't even know who you are. Because she does. But I told mom and dad, I'm like, some people that are really influential have very small personal accounts. And that could just be that. Or she could just be, I don't know anything about her. But anyway.
Well, you grew.
I did.
Dug deep and you grew. And that's the point of the long, short, small matter of it.
Is
small,
I grew.
large is that you
Because I dealt with why. And I was literally talking to myself about, why is somebody's voice that I don't even know dictating my belief in myself?
About and your confidence.
And my confidence in myself. Literally, as we were doing this live, when we were first opening, I was thinking about it again. I'm like, am I communicating right? Am I saying the same thing?
The
like
literally,
and I'm
shut up. Let's pray that out.
No, literally. But at the same time,
they don't know nothing.
They don't know. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
It's all right, y'all.
But at the same time, I was thinking to myself, but no, like catching myself, like just dealing with it, basically. Go ahead.
No, I just was thinking, this is a random tangent. This is not really anything I wanted to say to you. Remember that idea I have about that book that I want to do with that character? My mind.
Oh my God, Ericka. What is happening?
My mind goes so fast. I get this from my mother. I am my mother's child, and she is her father's child. So what you're saying right now is our parents 10 times.
Yeah, and I would be the girl version of dad.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's some emotions he doesn't carry that I do. But
exactly. Yeah. And then I'm the girl version of mom, so I carry all the emotions 10 times.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is how my brain works. I was thinking what you were saying, and then I was listening to you, and I was also thinking like, oh yeah, how are we presenting this? Like, how do we want to market this? I was thinking about other Black people that I follow. Why can't I think of names? Lord, y'all have to forgive us. I think it's Terrence. I follow him. He does the Jesus Be a Witness. He's on YouTube. Anyway, I'll put it down below. Anyway, I was thinking like how he does his videos and how he has introductions and openings, and then how he always has a blue screen behind him. And so just like different things, like how you're building a brand within this. But then I started thinking, and this is all within the span of 5 seconds, you guys. So then I started thinking, oh yeah, I had the idea about that book, and then how I wanted to connect that with the character. And I was like, oh yeah. And then that's when I was like, oh
wow, Ericka, I wasn't even complete thought. You just ended it right there. You just wanted to tell us how you got to the Wow. Appreciate you sharing.
Yeah. Because I really want to finish that.
Yeah.
That was so. I think it's a great, like, that's my 10-year goal of how to do this is I write. So I have a couple books. So I continue to my writing. And for me, writing a book seemed like a really daunting thing, or doing a blog. I'm not really like, I can't, that's too much pressure. Even though I probably could write every day and be consistent with that, it feels like too much. And so for me, I have to know myself and then like not trick myself, but really adjust to how my brain works. So for me, creating like little mini books that are like 5 or 6 chapters felt like a more doable thing. Like I can write that, get it done, put it online. So doing that, and then I want to create this character that goes with it. So almost like interactive. Does anyone remember Lizzie McGuire?
Yes.
That character was life, right?
Yeah,
like
it's cool.
That little cartoon that would like come across the screen and engage and be interactive. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
So what if that was that with like a book that you did that you could, I was reading and you know, something interactive and engaged. So anyway, that's sort of my long-term goal with that. That's a huge tangent. I'm sorry, but I wanted to try to explain how my brain works sometimes.
That's great, Ericka. I appreciate you, opening the door to us for that insight.
Yeah. Let me look up that guy's name. Where's my phone? Because I really want to hear, because he's so cool.
Yeah.
I just appreciate how he's done another Black person. I'm all about supporting our Black friends.
Yeah, like
Terrell, that's his name. Terrell. Oh no, I can't put it on our thing. I don't know about all those. But his name is Terrell. Terrell on YouTube. Cool. And he's really, really, really dope. I love his
look
content.
up the one girl who's the Black female.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah,
There's no right or wrong way to do this.
Yeah, there isn't. Because I don't really want to put show notes in. I'm sorry. I love you guys, but I have other things I have to do. Sorry. Dude, but like listen
This is
to
not
me.
that channel.
Listen to me. This girl, her name is Dana Chanel.
Dana Chanel?
Yeah. DANACHANEL.
Instagram. Thanks for putting me on.
Dude, listen to me. Her and her husband just retired their mom.
Oh, wow.
Yes. That's how much money they're making. And their mom is working for the company now. Oh my gosh, she was talking about this podcast.
Is this her?
Yes. Delicia actually sent her to me on Instagram like weeks ago, and I kind of looked at it and I was like, okay, I'll check her out. Mm-hmm. And then I really looked and I'm like, oh, dude.
Okay.
Where have you been all my life?
Okay. See, and this is, I think, is the beauty of the season that we're in.
Yeah.
Before, we wouldn't have been seeing all these people. Yeah. I'm so mad. I don't know about rights and stuff.
Ericka, it ain't that big.
Okay, cool.
It ain't that big. I just wanted to put this out because this is the episode everyone needs to be listening to. Okay. It's called Live Podcast Recording About Family Business at Cleveland Tour Dana Chanel. I don't know how you pronounce last name.
Chanel. It's just like Chanel with one N.
Yeah, it is really good because her and her dad are basically.
We follow her on YouTube too.
They're
What is the business that they do?
So they have several. They have something called Sprinkle of Jesus. They're Christians, Christian entrepreneurs. Basically, she took the Bible, took church, and put it in your pocket as far as having this app. So they have that, and then they have something called Alakazam Band. I'm butchering it, but there's all these other companies that they do. Credit Exterminators. So they have different companies that different family members run.
Okay, let me talk before I forget what I was
going to say. Go ahead.
Tell me why. What's the movie about the ladies that put the man on the moon, the Black females, with Taji P? Y'all know what it is. Remember. Y'all know what it is. Come on, give us a break. Anyway, tell me why we didn't learn about that in history.
Yeah.
Tell me why. Because the powers that be, which, hey, like it or love it or hate it, were white voices, curated our history books. Nope, we weren't learning about that. And don't come in the DMs talking about some homeschooling junk.
Oops.
Okay, please stay out of our DMs.
Oops. Wow.
Stay out of our DMs. But went to school for a certain amount of time.
Hidden Figures.
Oh, that was a little bit aggressive.
I was excited. I just listened to Hidden Figures. I was like, what's the movie? Listening to Hidden Figures.
But anyway, so we were homeschooled. We did a curriculum from an actual school. Whatever. Mm-hmm. Long story short, we went to school. Okay. Yeah. But a lot of white voices curated our learning. It was curated. They curated our learning. We didn't learn about Hidden Figures and these powerful Black women. Can you imagine if a lot of Black girls had learned that? Our generation of Black girls growing up. I'm so thankful that the little Black and brown girls right now are learning that. Yeah. But it's those type of things. It's like now we're seeing all these things that are y'all. Black people are about to
listen.
Y'all
listen. Truthfully. What would our frame of reference be if we really were taught in schools how America was founded? The truth of Black
there would have been several uprisings.
I don't know,
there would have been.
I don't know, y'all.
Instead of like the little 2 pages that it was, and then everyone looking at you like, well, you have anything to say about that?
You know what I mean? But also, now that I know, and I'm still learning, but when you really know the truth, it's like up to you to pass that down to your children.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It is, and so you don't forget.
Yeah,
and also so you don't take for granted, and also so that you can educate people, and you're not going to let anyone talk you out of your experiences. Yeah. Because a lot of people want to say, well, that was in the past, blah, blah, blah. Sweetie, those things are still influencing today, right? Like we are in a new day and we're so grateful for these opportunities. But the fact that we're just now getting these opportunities, we're just now starting to have these, careful with the pen, just now starting to have these mental aha moments and nuggets of things when people that are of our counterpart as far as skin color have had it for them, like, why, I mean, that's how I normally think. Of course, I got money. I have a trust fund, or I have savings from my grandpa.
Right. Or I have land. What do you mean?
You don't have anything in your name. Like,
it's all about how you grew up.
All about how you grew up. Case in point, I know some of y'all don't want to hear it. Maybe I won't assume I know you. I'm getting to know you. Hi, I'm Ericka Vaughn Byrne. What's your name? The college scam.
Oh. That goes back to, we were talking about this. That goes back to insecurity, though. Truthfully, because you're so concerned about how someone else is going to view your child going or not going to a certain school that you're willing to do immoral things in order to make it appear like your child got into Stanford or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
they don't even want to be there. They don't even go into the classes.
They didn't want to be there. Not all of them, but a couple that they did highlights of. Also, I saw an article that I was like, come on now. Well said, thanks. Took me to church. So they said, so I wonder if they're going to put these white moms in jail like they did the black and brown moms in jail who changed their child's address so they could go to a better school. So what was happening, especially in Chicago, I heard this a lot, where parents, people of color, of little black and brown babies, they would change the address on their school application so their child could get into a better school. Mm. Like maybe they live with their aunt and uncle or whatever. And so they put them in jail. They arrested them and put them in jail for things like that. Mm. And so then you have this. And also, too, in a lot of stories about people of color getting in trouble or in black and brown bodies doing things, wrong is wrong. Not trying to say whatever. But I will say that their mugshots are out with a quickness.
Yeah.
With a quickness.
Yeah, I did notice. Tell
me what you noticed or you didn't notice.
Wait,
Aunt Becky?
Wait, I did notice about Aunt Becky. The only picture they ever put out of her was her smiling on the red carpet,
like beautiful, full makeup.
Wait a minute.
And you know they have mugshots, so they were arrested. Right. So why are we not seeing that? It's curation, people. Yeah. It's curation.
But you know what's interesting? And this is why we have to step up and start owning stuff and running stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's natural. You will naturally filtrate like it's an extension of who you are.
Yeah.
Whatever you are is how you're going to communicate to the world that you live in. Yeah. So when only Caucasians are in charge owning everything, they're going to do business with people that look and sound like them. They're going to communicate media with people that look and sound like them.
Consciously or subconsciously, right? We're not saying everyone's got a malice or is doing this out of the spite.
Yeah.
But it's just natural.
It's
you look out for yours. And it's unless you are if there's no intentionality, we all have a path we'll lean towards.
Right.
If you're not intentional with yourself, if you're not eyes wide open, hands open, looking at yourself, like we were saying at the beginning, digging deep, you will naturally veer and lean a certain way. And that's to the way of your people.
Right. And that's why I have to step up and do stuff.
Yeah.
I have to if I want to step up and learn.
Yeah. If I want to make space for people that look like me, sound like me, have experiences like me.
Truthfully, because you can, and this is what I preach about us, is like, you can sit on the sidelines and complain, or you can step up and do.
Yeah. Ooh, that's another thing.
Like, step up and do.
Yeah.
Stop complaining about your kids can't get into this and do something about it. Stop complaining about only.
Well, no, there's some things that happen that are out of people's control that prevent them from doing that. Okay.
It's more of, I guess I'm saying it from the standpoint and the perspective of, for me, stop observing other business owners and be like, man, that's really cool. Like, I want to work for that company.
Right.
Step up and learn and do.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people want to be perfect. Mm-hmm. So they seek perfection before they actually put something out.
I hate that.
Just do it. Just do it. And I think that's something, like you said, that we are really good at. And I want to be better at it. Is actually just doing stuff. Yeah. You know, I had this film project idea. And I'm just doing it. No, it's not going to be perfect. Yeah. I haven't done every step of the way perfect, but I'm doing it. And I'm going to learn from it and grow from it. And I'm going to be really proud and excited of it because it's something that I did.
Yeah.
I didn't spend 15,000 years researching and and then I got
I ain't got the right mic though.
Right, or I don't have the right thing. I have a camera on my phone. I'm filming with my phone.
Right.
That's what I have. I bought a $15 tripod so that I could be a little bit more stable.
Right.
I had this idea. I'm writing it myself. I'm going to record the voiceover myself.
You're just doing.
I'm just doing. You have to do. And I think that's something that we can encourage people specifically because we are doers. Yeah. We get that from our parents. They're doers.
Just make things happen.
Just do.
But if you think about that, think about it. Because you're a fast doer, the experience that you'll gain gives you more like
currency
to to then have better opportunities because you understand, because you've
I've
done
it.
Not because you thought about it.
Conceptualized it.
You wrote a great business
We
plan.
all can conceptualize.
You read a lot of good books about it. And you talked about it. But because you did it. So you understand how to do and how to get results, and the currency of experience is better than paper. Degrees.
You just dropped a nugget that not everyone's gonna want to hear.
The currency of experience is better than paper.
Dang. I'm of the mentality that college is not for everyone.
I agree.
I 100% believe that with all of my heart.
I agree.
I didn't go to college. I started going to college, and then recession and things happened with money, and I felt like I needed to be financially independent for my parents. Long story short, dropped out, didn't finish, don't have college debt. You didn't go to college.
I didn't go to college.
Our brother Eric didn't go to college. Eldon's the only
went
one
to college.
That of our four. And I think that the currency of experience has aided me in my life. Now, sweetie, if you're going to be a doctor, you need the paper.
Okay. You do research before you have surgery.
Exactly. There are things that if you want to do, you need the paper. And, some people just want to go for knowledge. But I'm not trying to pay upwards of $75,000 a year. For knowledge that is way different. A lot of people that I talk to, that college mentality, college life, college world is very different than real world, real life, real how to actually do life. It's very different. And so I'm of the mentality that if you don't need to go, there are a lot of different ways to get experience and knowledge that will aid you to the same level, if not more, than going somewhere and getting paper.
I agree. I 100% agree. And I think especially for the art world, because that's where I like to work, the creative art experience. Baby, go get a certificate of trade. You know what I mean? Take some classes to learn the industry and then get in.
And then start doing, because that speaks more of doing. Of being out there and having experiences. Those people look for. Because I've been in positions, I've started my own company in Chicago, co-directed and choreographed it for.
Which is a big deal, by the way. To start a company, hello? How do you even do it?
And we paid our dancers
for that.
And we paid our dancers.
It's insane. That's what I'm saying.
The
currency of doing.
I know. And it's continuing today.
That's awesome.
They continued. I would help pick someone else to come and take my role as co-director and continue it on today. Project Bound Dance. Look it up in Chicago. Also, something they're continuing to doing that I'm doing is the 1 Hour Project. This is an idea that I had 7 years ago. I was like, man, I really want to grow as an artist. What if I took 1 hour, had a dancer come and just 1 minute solo on the 1 hour? What if I just did that? And I had this idea and I tried to do it. But when I got with Ashley Duran, who's my co-director, that we helped build Project Bound Dance together, she helped put language to an idea that I had. And now it's something that they're continuing in Chicago that is such a benefit to the community. It's based on like the idea of a blind date where you get a videographer, a film artist, a dancer, and a choreographer. They have 1 hour to create a 1 minute piece of work. And everyone grows from it. Then you have something that you can take from there. Because after a performance, if you get footage, that's fine. But it's over,
especially in the media world today.
It's over. And so why not have this thing that you created as a dance film that you have to then promote this, and that. So it's something that I'm very proud of. I learned so much about how to just have an idea and then go for it, and to partner with people, and collaboration is truly another currency that you can't do everything alone. And I learned so much working with Ashley, and she really chiseled my brain on how to think about things in collaboration. So all that to say, I didn't go to college for that, and I was able to start a company and employ other dancers and collaborate with people. Even here, having all these opportunities as a mover, a director, a supporter, a developer of art and people. But I did have a lot of experiences. I worked my butt off. Like, it wasn't like I was sitting at home eating bonbons. So you can't be like, well, I'm not going to go to college, but these experiences better come to me. And sweetie, you need to be out doing the work. Face down, grinding, being out there because you're a business. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. All that to say,
experience. And you never know what opportunities, like that even helped you get into New Box.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like you came from Chicago, didn't know anybody jack squat out here in Phoenix, and now you're creative director at a dance company right now?
Well, our artist support and development director.
Insane.
And
you're doing your own show in June?
Yeah, doing my own show in June that's supported by New Box. I've met so many amazing artists. I literally stepped into the desert, figuratively and literally, with no connections, knowing no one, doing nothing, and was handed a community because of the experiences that I had and the knowledge that I had built from the hard work that I had done for 10 years in Chicago. That afforded me to walk in with knowledge and be of value and an asset to a company because I did the work.
Yeah.
And a degree didn't give me that.
Yeah.
That was me going out and getting the experiences.
And even when because you did something are you allowed to talk about that? When
What?
you did the judging at ASU and some of the students just
with the Scottsdale Community College, adjudicating for some of their competitions and things like that.
And surprisingly, some of the people who had degrees didn't have the grit necessarily that you were looking for. Is that right?
You mean with the students?
Remember you went as a judge and you were like, these kids have degrees in dance and whatever, but they have no idea of how to put something together?
Oh, that was when I helped with ASU's with their senior projects. So they have senior projects that they go and they do things. And it's just interesting that a lot of times when you're in a mentality of like college and things, sometimes it doesn't translate. Sometimes students don't get it. They don't know how to translate that knowledge into actual doing and how it to help them grow in a way. Some kids are just entitled.
Yeah.
That's just the truth, right? Yeah. And that wasn't like the whole of the people that I saw, but I think that you just see people that are just entitled about the experiences that they've had, about the knowledge that they've been around. Are they really soaking and squeezing everything out of that they've done? And they're like, oh, this is what I do. This is who I am. And so it's just interesting. Whenever I look for artists to work with, I don't ever look at what college they went to. Part of that because I didn't go to college. And so I know that is such like a poor way to start off. A lot of people look at what are their credentials, where do they go? You know, some people believe that college shows a level of commitment and like investment. I'm like, okay, yeah, but sometimes people can't afford to invest in that. Right. So does that mean they don't have commitment? Right. No. So I never ever look for that. I look for their experiences. I look for their work ethic. I look for what they're doing outside of, many different things. How are they growing themselves? How are they marketing themselves? Have they thought of themselves as a business holistically? Well, how do they invest in themselves? Yeah. What are they trying to say? Because a lot of people just want to do something and they don't really dig deep to actually figure out what they're trying to say. Yeah. And I've been talking for a while, so I'm going to stop.
No, that's really good. And I think we probably should end this soon.
Oh, yeah.
Because the sunlight's going
to It's making me hot, too.
Yeah, it's hot here in Arizona. But final thought I want to close with is to encourage our listeners. If you're not doing but you want to do, please do the dirty work and dig into yourself to find out what's stopping you from doing. If you're one of those people that started a podcast or you started shaping up your Instagram or you're starting this business and you started and then somebody said something and you stopped, or you doubted yourself and you stopped, please do the dirty work of dealing with that because you will stop yourself from ever growing if you don't deal with the things that keep you from doing.
Insecurities and egos.
Yes.
Yeah. And on the other side of that, I would say if you are someone that is a perfectionist and you are hung up on, well, it's not perfect and I messed up and that take wasn't the best, just put it out there. Yeah. Just put it out there. Yeah. Just do it. You know, like don't say, well, I don't have this, I don't have that. What's one step that you can take? And just do it. Like literally let go of perfection. Say, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just documenting my life. I'm just experimenting. I'm getting it out there. Because the more you do, the better you'll become. Yeah. But I think for me, maybe people that had my mental blockings always usually fall in like, well, it's not going to be perfect, or it's not this. I don't have the right equipment. I'm not at the right stage. Those are the topics too. Just do it. Yeah. Just do it. Whatever it is. If you're trying to write, put out one chapter to get some feedback. Just do it. You can get honest feedback about how people are responding to your work, or send it to 5 close, trusted friends. Yeah. You know, if you're trying to do a podcast, just start something. Everyone has the capability of starting a podcast. Anchor.fm.
Yep.
Anchor.fm. Free. Easy.
Yeah.
So cool. And you can have a podcast tomorrow.
Easy. So y'all just do.
Just do.
Just do.
Just do. Ooh, that light.
Just do. We love y'all. Until next time, thanks for joining us. Episode 1 of Creative Conversations.
I'm Ericka Vaughn Byrne.
I'm Erin V. Lashley.
Bye.
We love y'all. Are you sure you want to end your stream? And